you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So first, I would like to start by thanking Shane for making a lifelong dream of mine come true. You have no idea how good this feels. So to introduce myself, I am Shaina Manuel, and I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I've been a teacher now for about, thank you so much, for about 4 years, and I'm just about ready to finish up my master's degree with, with Eastern Illinois University. I'm glad to have some of that free time back, by the way. So when I was first asked to give a TED Talk, like so many others, I was at a loss of where to begin. I wanted something that other people could connect with and find engaging, but we're also diverse in our interests and how we lead our lives, that I wasn't exactly sure of similar commonalities. So first thing I thought of was food. We all eat it. Most of us enjoy it. But then I'm not that great of a cook, and I have the same 5 meals on a daily rotation, including breakfast. So I was like, I'm not knowledgeable for that one. And then I thought of hobbies. We all enjoy making art, but I'm around all day, so are you. Sometimes we just want a break, right? So I thought of running. I enjoy running in my free time. And when I say the word enjoy, I use that loosely. And I thought maybe I could share some tips, maybe just like relate to you guys about it on some level. But then I thought, don't want to remind anyone of a failed New Year's resolution. So I threw that one in the trash bin. And so then I thought about the most basic commonality we would all have. And that is going through the master's program at EIU, or Eastern Illinois University. As a side note, does anyone else feel like they are saying that like old nursery rhyme, E-I-E-I-O-U, whenever they say EIU? Like whenever I would tell anyone the name of the college, I was like, oh man, I can't not think of that song. But getting back on track now, getting back on track now, the master's program, I thought I would stand up here and give you some tips and advice for success for someone who has nearly been through it. Now, by no means are these supported by the university, nor the professors, so just take them with a grain of salt, okay? And don't get mad at me if you get kicked out or anything, okay? The program is awesome. It's fast-paced, it's economical, and it gets the job done. By no means is this a tell-all, be-all, end-all, and people will have differing opinions from mine. I'm sure of it. So first, I'd like to start with the highs and lows. For me, the highs are the studio classes. Whether they are in person or online, they are the crown jewel. The professors know what they're talking about, and they're fun, okay? The lows would be the backwards curriculum design class. For me, it hit that very first year of the program in January. So I was already on that hangover from Christmas, and that's when the students are like rowdy, and so the weekdays were spent wrangling kids, and my weekends were spent writing papers. It almost, very nearly, super close, made me give up the will to live. It sucked, okay? So just get through that class, and it's an uphill, it gets better, okay? It gets better. So each class follows the same basic structure. They're all so consistent. By the end of it, I felt like I was on autopilot, okay? All of them assign readings, and then you discuss them in the communication thing, and they're just looking for participation, okay? They're not looking for Einstein material. So the readings, the way that I would get through them is work out a system for yourself, okay? So for me, I would work like a madman the first 3 weeks and get everything done. And then I would just turn it in at the appropriate times. This had some pluses and this had some drawbacks. The pluses was it was all done. I only worked hard for 3 weeks, and then I can coast for 3 weeks. However, the drawback would be, in the discussions later on, I had no idea what anyone was talking about, okay? That was 6 weeks ago. I forgot it. I moved on to boy bands and, like, pop culture, okay? I had no idea what was going on. So I had to devise a system to cover that up. And this next trick is going to be probably the accomplishment I am most proud of in my life, okay? When I die, I'm going to tell all of my kids, all of my grandkids this. On the discussion posts, teachers make you or encourage you or require you to do 2 to 5 comments on your peers' posts. And so I was like, that's a lot. I don't always have something great to say. A lot of times I have nothing great to say, and my classmates are all going to know I'm an idiot, okay? So what I ended up coming up with is if you can reply to the people who replied to your posts, it counts as a post. All the professors do is look on D2L, there's a button that shows each student's activities and how many comments they've replied to and how many posts they've replied to. However, it does not tell them, ready for this, whether it's the student's own post or whether it's a peer's post, okay? So, boom, right there. Say thank you to 5 classmates, done, okay? And you, like 22 students, I expect like a royalty check in the mail. I'll give you my address below. I would use some advice that I learned from my classmates. At the beginning, I would lose track of everyone. I didn't know where they taught. I couldn't keep like the names straight. I forgot who did what, who liked what. So I was like, oh, this is too confusing. I'm just going to pretend like it doesn't matter. So I got to the studio classes my first year, and I met this amazing, amazing student. And what she did was, at the beginning of each class, she wrote down people's names. And she would just keep like a little list. And then as they went, she would write down like where they're from. You know, the very first discussion post is always like talk about yourself. She would just jot down some little notes and that sort of thing. And then as the classes evolved, we spend more and more time with each other. So our knowledge of each other gets wider. We kind of become like a little community. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I did that at the beginning. Because then in the discussion prompts, later on, you can bring up like relevant things. And it seems like you're really engaged. It seems like you're really invested in the person. And it's a great way to kind of go about the classes, okay? So in retrospect, that is something I would have started right at the beginning. So write a list of all your classmates, just jot down a few little notes, it doesn't take forever, and it will help you infinitely along the way. Another tip I got from my very benevolent classmates was for the our history classes, the only 2 good ones are the photography class and the virtual museum class. Do not take any of the others, okay? Those 2 classes are the minimum amount of work for the highest grade. So if you're smart, take those 2 classes. To my fellow classmates that are finishing up this program, I've really enjoyed being able to learn with and from you. I'm sorry that this TED Talk does not apply to you, okay? Feel free to fast forward, or it's already the end, so you just wasted like 3 minutes of your life watching this. But if you have other tips and advice, please put them in the comments below. I will reply thank you, so it counts towards one of those discussion posts. Please know that if I did not reply to your post or your comment, it's not because I'm snobby. I worried about that. It's really because I have anxiety and I overthink absolutely everything. So I probably spent about 10 minutes sitting at my computer typing out different responses, and I would backspace all of them and just shut the computer down because it was too much. Okay, so I promise I wanted to reply to everyone's posts. I did hypothetically reply like 7 times to everyone's single posts, but I just never hit send. Okay, so back on track. For all the people just starting out, or whether this is the halfway mark in your educational master's program journey, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you stop and smell the roses when you can, and feel free to drop me a line, email me. I'm sure you have my email somewhere, or I can give it to you, or follow me on social media. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. This was great. This was so great. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye, guys.